Hello, my name is Beato, and I am a Classicalia semi-finalist. I started the violin when I was 4 years old, almost 5, and there were only really stringed instruments as an option since I started out at the Suzuki program. So, wanting to play the main instrument, I chose the violin. For me, I've been thinking a lot about posture and, releasing tension in the arm. So switching to not using a shoulder rest or, not a conventional shoulder rest, something that's just like a simple pad, has really helped me, release tension. Also, another thing that I've actually been thinking about is composer's intent and, how musicality relates to how we should play the music. So those are two things I've, been thinking about and have been working on as a musician. Living in New York has, been really just something that's come with music because I don't know, everywhere you go, there's always like musicians and concerts and always a lot of opportunities. So I'm just really grateful to be living in a city where there's like so much music and so many opportunities. There's so many things about music that I like. It's hard to like really pin it to like one specific thing because I feel like it all comes down to performing. So you perform in front of people and then, you share your ideas and intent with the audience. And I think there's something really like special about that because everybody has like a different interpretation. My biggest influences are Kirsten Leong, Soo Young-yoon. I also love Augustine Hedelish and David Oistrakh. These players are inspiring to me in different ways. So for example, Kirsten Leong, I really admire his very thoughtful use of the bow and his amazing musicality and performance ability and stage presence. And for someone like David Oistrakh, I think he's just like a really high figure in the violin world. And it's just like all of his performances are so thoughtful and sincere. When I'm not playing violin, I like to draw, especially, painting and, drawing from references. Also, I enjoy making music on my computer using Ableton. I'm a published author for the book in the background. Published illustrator and author for this book that just came out called Who is Florence Price? Let me show it up here. Florence Price is a really special, figure in the music world since there's not a lot of people like her who've made it out there who are women of color and her music is just beautiful, so her story is just like really important to share with the world. So this is my violin. They don't really have a name. It's been like going from like chestnut since it's like all like orange, and then there's been some other names I've been thinking of, but they're not really like settled yet. So actually I've had this violin for about like 3 years, since like 2019, and it was actually made in 2019, so I'm like the first person to have it. And funny thing is, my mom is friends on Facebook with the maker of my violin, which is just like really crazy since it's a modern violin. So yeah. So this is my violin. They don't really have a name. It's been like going from like chestnut since it's like all like orange, and then there's been some other names I've been thinking of, but they're not really like settled yet. So actually I've had this violin for about like 3 years, since like 2019, and it was actually made in 2019, so I'm like the first person to have it. And funny thing is, my mom is friends on Facebook with the maker of my violin, which is just like really crazy since it's a modern violin. So, yeah. So for my round 2 performance for Classicalia, I performed the Recitativo and Scherzo by Fritz Kreisler. So for me, this piece really just like was a pivotal step in, my music making. I think part of what made this piece really difficult was thinking about the pauses and breaths, especially in the recitative, since it's kind of like a cadenza in a way, and it's very open to interpretation. So also for the scherzo, I think a lot of it was just like timing, thinking about where to slow down, where to speed up, and I just like those kinds of things.